There's something sacred about mountains. They rise from the earth like monuments to time itself, silent, steady, and endlessly majestic. For some, they're a challenge to conquer. For others, they're a place to find peace, to breathe deeply, and to feel grounded. But no matter who you are, when you stand before a truly beautiful mountain range, you feel it, that overwhelming sense of wonder. Today, we're climbing into the clouds as we explore the most breathtaking mountain landscapes on Earth. These aren't just views, they're life-changing experiences. Let's start with the mighty Himalayas, the highest mountains in the world, and home to the legendary Mount Everest. Towering at over 29,000 feet, Everest pierces the sky, flanked by an entire range of snow-covered giants stretching across Nepal, India, Bhutan, and Tibet. But the Himalayas are more than just height, they're a spiritual epicenter. Monasteries cling to cliffs, prayer flags flutter in the cold wind, and ancient trails lead through valleys filled with yaks, glaciers, and timeless beauty. The Everest Base Camp trek isn't just a journey across terrain, it's a pilgrimage. Now let's drift west to the Alps, the dazzling spine of Europe. Stretching across 8 countries, from France and Switzerland to Austria and Slovenia, the Alps are a painter's dream: rolling green meadows, snow-dusted peaks, cozy wooden chalets, and mirror-like alpine lakes. In Switzerland's Lauterbrunnen Valley, waterfalls spill from cliffs and the Eiger looms with a silent grace. Whether you're skiing the slopes of St. Moritz or hiking through blooming summer trails in the Dolomites, the Alps deliver beauty with every step. Further south, the Andes run like a backbone down the length of South America. This is the longest continental mountain range in the world, stretching from Venezuela to Chile. In Peru, the Andes cradle the mystical ruins of Machu Picchu, where stone terraces cling to steep cliffs wrapped in mist. Head to Patagonia, where Argentina and Chile share a wild, rugged stretch of the Andes with glaciers, teal lakes, and jagged peaks like Fitzroy and Cerro Torre, so surreal they almost seem sculpted. We now fly to Canada, where the Rocky Mountains carve through Alberta and British Columbia like nature's fortress. In Banff and Jasper National Parks, snow-tipped peaks reflect in turquoise lakes like Moraine Lake and Peta Lake, creating scenes so perfect they look Photoshop. These mountains are pure wilderness: moose in the forests, grizzly bears on the ridges, and silence so deep it feels sacred. The Rockies don't just surround you, they humble you. Over in New Zealand, on the South Island, the Southern Alps rise dramatically from the sea. Here, Aoraki, Mount Cook reigns supreme, surrounded by glaciers, starry skies, and jagged peaks that seem pulled from a fantasy novel. The Fiordland region, carved by ice over millions of years, delivers a unique kind of mountain beauty, where cliffs drop straight into the ocean and mist clings to the forested slopes. It's wild, remote, and utterly magical. Now to Africa, where Mount Kilimanjaro stands alone, the tallest freestanding mountain on Earth. Rising from the savanna of Tanzania, Kilimanjaro's snow-capped summit offers panoramic views above the clouds, with a climb that takes you through 5 different ecological zones, from rainforest to alpine desert. It's a physical and emotional journey, one of the few places where the horizon meets the heavens. On to Japan, where the iconic Mount Fuji rises like a perfect pyramid above Tokyo's urban sprawl. Revered in art, poetry, and spiritual tradition, Fuji is not just a mountain, it's a symbol. In spring, cherry blossoms frame its snowy peak; in autumn, fiery leaves blaze at its base. Climbing it to catch the sunrise, a phenomenon known as goraiko, is one of Japan's most unforgettable experiences. Let's head now to Norway, where the mountains aren't just tall, they're poetic. The fjords, carved by glaciers and flanked by dramatic cliffs, create one of the most surreal landscapes on Earth. In places like Geiranger and Trolltunga, you stand on cliffs that overlook endless valleys of light, water, and silence. The way the mountains rise directly from the sea feels otherworldly, like stepping into a Norse legend. In the American West, the Sierra Nevada range is home to Yosemite National Park, where granite domes like Half Dome and El Capitan rise from lush valleys sculpted by ancient glaciers. Waterfalls plunge hundreds of feet down polished stone, and groves of ancient sequoias watch over the landscape like elders of the earth. Ansel Adams called Yosemite the Cathedral of Nature, and it's easy to see why. Not far away, the Teton Range in Wyoming offers a raw, rugged mountain beauty that feels untouched by time. Grand Teton National Park is all about contrast. Knife-edge peaks rising straight from flat plains, alpine lakes mirroring jagged summits, and wildlife that wanders freely through a landscape that hasn't changed in centuries. It's nature in its purest, most primal form. And finally, we return to Italy, to the Dolomites, a UNESCO World Heritage Site that feels like a sculpture garden built by the gods. Their sharp limestone peaks glow a soft pink during sunrise and sunset, a phenomenon known as inrosatira. Wander through high alpine meadows, stay in rustic mountain huts, and hike trails that weave through fairy tale scenery. The Dolomites don't shout for your attention, they enchant you. All across the world, mountains rise like ancient guardians of the earth. They challenge us, move us, and remind us that the world is far more magical than we often remember. Whether you're a climber, a hiker, or someone who just likes to pause and soak in a view, these places are waiting for you, with open skies, endless trails, and the kind of beauty that stays with you forever. So what are you waiting for? The world's most beautiful mountains are calling, and they're not just meant to be seen in photos. They're meant to be felt, breathed, climbed, and loved. Whether you're planning your next great escape or just dreaming for now, let this be your reminder. The peaks are out there, waiting to change your perspective, and maybe even your life. Start your journey today. Chase the summit. And never stop.